Hello, beautiful. We're reading in the text, chapter 23, The War Against Yourself. And we are in section 1, the irreconcilable beliefs. And I'm reading in paragraphs 3 and 4. Be certain that it is impossible God and the ego, or yourself and it, will ever meet. You seem to meet and make your strange alliances on grounds that have no meaning. For your beliefs converge upon the body, the ego's chosen home, which you believe is yours. You meet at a mistake, an error in your self-appraisal. The ego joins with an illusion of yourself you share with it, and yet illusions cannot join. They are the same, and they are nothing. Their joining lies in nothingness. Two are as meaningless as one, or as 1,000. I'm going to pause here and say that's a really interesting concept, isn't it? Like if something is meaningless, then whether it's 1,000 meaningless or 0 meaningless or 1,000 meaningless plus 1,000 meaningless, the equation still equals meaningless. That's interesting. The ego joins with nothing, being nothing. The victory it seeks is meaningless, as is itself. This also makes me think, in practical terms, it's like the court of public opinion, or it's almost like, think how fickle and fleeting the world of man is, and how fickle and fleeting the affection of the world is. I mean, people are, can be, on top of the world in terms of ego, of, oh wow, this person, they have so much value and they're on this pedestal, and then some small faux pas or whatever the case may be, and then they're out of favor. And now they're horrible and we hate this person. It's just interesting to watch that and to see how the victory it seeks is meaningless. Brother, the war against yourself is almost over. That's good news. The journey's end is at the place of peace. Would you not now accept the peace offered you here? This enemy you fought as an intruder on your peace is here transformed before your sight into the giver of your peace. Your enemy was God himself, to whom all conflict, triumph, and attack of any kind are all unknown. He loves you perfectly, completely, and eternally. Wow. I'm going to pause here and say, the ego does not like that. Wow. Because if there's nothing wrong with you, if you are perfectly and completely and eternally loved by God, then the ego has no function. A lot of times the ego gets us by saying, I'm going to help you be better. I'm going to make you better. And that's actually blasphemy, because you're already perfect. The Son of God, at war with his Creator, is a condition as ridiculous as nature roaring at the wind in anger, proclaiming it is part of itself no more. Could nature possibly establish this and make it true? Nor is it up to you to say what shall be part of you and what is kept apart. I'm going to pause here and say that's actually calling us to humility. You don't get to choose if you're perfect, whole, and complete. God made you that way. The war against yourself was undertaken to teach the Son of God that he is not himself and not his Father's Son. For this, the memory of his Father must be forgotten. It is forgotten in the body's life, and if you think you are a body, you will believe you have forgotten it. Yet truth can never be forgotten by itself, and you have not forgotten what you are. Only a strange illusion of yourself, a wish to triumph over what you are, remembers not. I'm going to read that again. Only in a strange illusion of yourself, a wish to triumph over what you are, remembers not. The war against yourself is but the battle of two illusions, struggling to make them different from each other in the belief that the one that conquers will be true. There is no conflict between them and in the truth. Nor are they different from each other. Both are not true. And so it matters not what form they take. What made them is insane. I'll pause there and say, ego. And they remain part of what made them. Madness holds out no menace to reality and has no influence upon it. Illusions cannot triumph over truth, nor can they threaten it in any way. And the reality that they deny is not a part of them. What you remember is a part of you, for you must be as God created you. Truth does not fight against illusions, nor do illusions fight against the truth. Illusions battle only with themselves. Wow. That's so so fascinating. You know, the line that truth does not fight illusions and illusions can only battle themselves. If we go back to paragraph 3, where it says, be certain that it is impossible God and the ego, or yourself and it, will ever meet. God can't fight your illusions because your illusions aren't there. They don't exist. But the truth is indivisible and far beyond their little reach. You will remember what you know when you have learned you cannot be in conflict. You cannot be in conflict. One illusion about yourself can battle with another, yet the war of two illusions is a state where nothing happens. There's no victor, and there's no victory. And truth stands radiant, apart from conflict, untouched and quiet in the peace of God. Wow, that's fascinating. That's really beautiful. Lately, I've had a practice of when I feel upset or worried about something, I will go to my heart, take a few deep breaths, and I will sit with my heart in unconditional love without any judgment. And I don't try to make my heart happy because I feel like that forceful energy doesn't really work for me. Like, be happy. Instead, I just offer unconditional love and compassion for whatever the heart is feeling in that moment. And as I do that, I just feel happy and peaceful. It's like, it doesn't matter how I was feeling when I went into it. It's the love, it's the compassion that immediately allows my heart to feel safe. That unconditional positive self-regard. Go ahead and give it a try. Just love whatever is. If your heart is sad, love that. Have unconditional compassion and love for that sadness. It's okay. We're having a multi-dimensional experience here, experiencing being human, and we're going to feel the highs and lows. We're going to have days that feel really joyful and days that feel really fraught, and it's okay. Truth does not fight against illusions. You will remember what you know when you have learned you cannot be in conflict. Be at peace with what is. Whatever that is. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. See you soon.